So I've finished cutting out Ruskin. What I want to do now is add him into a banner for my web page. So I need to make a file for that. So I'm going to make a file new, and I'm going to make a new document. I'm going to specify size. It's come up with some random size over here. My experience is it's better to work in something big and then scale it down. So I'm going to go at, say, 3000 pixels wide banner. You need to get an aspect ratio that works maybe 800 pixels high, slightly less than a third of the width. I don't know, we'll see how it looks. And I want it to be landscape probably. Let's see if that works. Yeah, that worked. So I've got my new banner now, and I want to put Ruskin in there. So I'm going to go to here, Control A to select everything, Control C, back over here, Control V. So there's Ruskin. Now what you can see is I've got two layers now. I've got a background layer and I've got my Ruskin layer. In fact, I should rename this. Can I do that? Where's the rename? Should we just click on it? Didn't do this before. There you go. I'm going to call that one the Ruskin layer, just to keep track of it. You don't have to do that. It's just kind of, can be really, if you've got like 10 or 12, or you can have hundreds of layers here, it could be much easier to keep track of them if you name them. So here's Ruskin. He's going to be on the banner. I kind of want him on the left side, and then I want to have some text on the right side, and I want a bit of a background color. That's my plan. So the first thing is he's just a little bit too big here, so I'm going to resize him. So I've got the move tool selected, so I can pick him up and I can just move him over here. That's pretty good. Still just a little bit too big, but the move tool also gives you these drag handles. Now this is where things can go horribly wrong. I see people grab these drag handles and they go, oh, there we go, he's about there, and suddenly Ruskin looks very short and fat. That's not what we want. So let's Control Z that and see how to avoid that. The way to avoid that is if you click on the drag handle without moving it, then up here it shows you the size. This is the parameters for that tool. There's a little link here which says maintain aspect ratio. You click it, and then you can only, no matter where you put the mouse, it keeps the aspect ratio perfect. So I want it about there, and do that. Cool, so I've got Ruskin in the right place, and I've got background. Background's white. So the first thing I need to do to change that background is to click on the background. Oh, I need to hit enter to accept that. Cool, right. So I'll click on the background layer. So now I'm working on the background layer. So I cannot actually pick, oh, I can pick, just change that layer because there was nothing on the background layer to select. Anything that I do now is on the background layer. So this is a typical problem when you're working with layers, end up with multiple layers, and you think you're working on one layer, you're actually working on a different layer. So you have to keep track of which layer you've got currently selected. And just to make life easier for myself, I'm going to get rid of Ruskin for the moment. Just click the eye and he's gone. I'm going to use the gradient tool, and that's not the gradient tool, but it is a useful tool. It's a color picker. I'm going to pick some colors for the background. I want that to be my foreground color. And my background color, I'm going to go with that, and then I'm going to use the gradient tool. Where's the gradient tool? That's not it. Here we are, gradient tool. And the way gradient tool works is you define the area that the gradient is going to work over. So I'm going to say go from there to there. It goes from red to blue. I could go from red to blue that way, or I could do it over a much smaller area. That doesn't look very good for what I want. I can do it diagonally. I'm just going to go with, that's kind of the effect I wanted. I don't know. Yeah, that'll do. Let's see how Ruskin looks where we put him on there. Oh, awesome. Right. I'm going to add another layer now. This is going to be automatically added. I'm going to add a text layer. So I'm going to put some text that's just going to say Ruskin. So I'm going to click here. I don't want that font, Myriad Pro, whatever that is. I'm going to go with good old Font Papyrus. Supersize 300 points sounds good. I should change the color of the text as well, so it's not, it doesn't match with background too much. Yeah, I'll go with that. I'm putting Ruskin. You know what? I think a bit bigger than that would be good. Maybe if I go 400. Enter. Yeah, I like that more. So now I can pick that up with this tool, the move tool, and move it around. Now, here's the kind of last thing that I'm going to mention about layers for now, is actually matters what order these are in. So at the moment, Ruskin is on top, the text is below, and the background is below that. And we can see that because if I pick up the text, it goes behind Ruskin. But if I drag that up to there, now the text is on top of Ruskin, and we can see that as well. And if I stuffed it up and put the background right on the top, it won't let me do that. Now if I put a background right on the top of everything, it's all gone. That's stupid. Don't want that. Background goes on the bottom. So I actually want the text behind Ruskin, and can I just make it a little bit bigger? If I click on that, does that work? Oh yeah, that's good. And text behind Ruskin. Yeah. How does that look? Hit enter. Yeah, I'm good with that. And then the last stages that we need to do is to make this perfect for our website. You know, there's a bunch of other stuff that you can do. Yeah, what would you want? Either borders around the outside might look really cool, some rounded edges, some transparency. Look it up online. There's many different options. Anyway, meanwhile, I'm going to say export. I could do actually what I'll probably do is go image, and actually no, I'll go through it this way. Firstly, I'm going to save, because I might want to change this later. So the first thing I'm going to save it as is a PSD. So it's going to be ruskin.psd, and this saves it with layers. Okay, because I've got layers in my document already, the layers are all saved as part of it. See, tick layers. That means that I can come back to my original later and make any minor changes that I want to. But that PSD will be massive. They're always huge. If you ever need to free up some space, go back and delete your PSD files. They're massive. And they don't appear on a web page. If you try and put a PSD into a web page, it doesn't work. So what you need to do then is resize your image to the correct size. And I'm going to go, I think I'm going to go with 960 pixels. You know what? It didn't link them, did it? So if I say 960 now, I click on the little link and it keeps the aspect ratio correct. That'll do. And then file, save as, and now I'm going to save it as a JPEG, because JPEG is good for the web. And ruskin.jpg, and it will ask me quality, and it will tell me about file size as well. Quality 2 is too low. If I go up to 116 kilobytes is a good size for a web page. I'm going to go with maximum quality, 156 kilobytes. I noticed when I saved it, it was 6.8 megabytes. So let's just have a quick look at that, shall we? So if I go to documents, where was it? It was somewhere in, I should have had this open already, shouldn't it? There's ruskin.jpg. Let's open it over here, drag it across. Yeah, that'll do. Happy with that. That's Ruskin. And I put it on my web page. Done.